Hello friends, this is Johan from storyclub.ai, and today I'll walk you through a writing session I do myself and the software and the software platform that I built for that. Storyclub.ai, we do AI agents for writers, and I'll show you how exactly we use that. So this is the homepage of the app. If you go to storyclub.ai, log in or register an account, you'll get a page looking like this, and you'll have an example, a book project that you could try things on. It's a book project I was working on, and in the app, in your account, there will be seeded a version from a few months ago, from when I seeded this content. Right now, I've been working a lot since then, and that version you have, it's not the one actually I'm writing right now. But this is a seed project if you want, so you can. It's always easy to work on someone else's work, so you don't start right away with your own writing project if you're not very comfortable yet with the platform. So, but since I developed it myself, I'm comfortable sharing with you my work. So let's go and so the name of the app of a book project I'm working on, it's called Marvin. It's about an AI living in a symbiosis with humans 30 years from now. It's a projection 30 years from now. As I like to call it, it's a cosmic intuition jump 30 years into the future. And this idea came to me from an email exchange with Alan Kay a few years ago. He was running a school, an online school, and he challenged his students to imagine how this world looks like. And after a few email exchanges, I started to work on the Marvin. And since then, a few years ago, I was writing this novel. And right now, long story short, I'll walk you through the process I use almost every day to write. Okay, let's go. So in previous sessions, I showed you how I run this AI agent, and this is the AI agent. It has four steps that analyzes the plot, the manuscript that I have already, and it does the last mile, not for me but with me, because I don't allow it to write for myself. I use the AI to find the gaps and to critique my work and to find the gaps, to suggest me issues to work on, to have tasks, to suggest where do I split chapters, where do I merge chapters, if there is some chapters I need to add, some character arcs that are not meeting, some themes that are not strong enough, and maybe some themes that needs to be removed at all, but because they confuse the reader, and so on. So I run this 4-step agent that does that. First step is summarize and extract. It summarizes the chapters and extracts the characters. After that, it analyzes the plot. I can go and click and get the summaries of all my 22 chapters. And after that, I analyze the plot. I have plot points, the inciting incident, the introduction of setting, secondary conflict, first sign of crisis, and so on, and so on, and so on. Okay, I have characters. I can, it's like flashcards. I can click on them and I can have an overview of the characters in my story. I have a structure and theme, and this is where it finds the structural issues and the theme issues. So it groups it by structure and by themes. So what do I need to work on the structure? Like, for example, merge chapters 3 and 4. Split chapter 22 in burial and time jump. Add a chapter between 12 and 13. Consider removing and drastically reducing chapter 6 because maybe it's not engaging enough to an AI. But again, these are just suggestions. I read them, I maybe take them in consideration, but I have a mechanism to approve or dismiss. If I approve, they will go on the next step. If I dismiss, they will be ignored. And I have a list of potential issues. So it's project level inconsistency, project level logical gap, phrase file approved doesn't match his business knowledge, for example, unresolved thread, what happened, why there is a bone in the sauna, never explained, continuity error, dislocation during the trial is inconsistent, Freaky's nature and capability and it's fine, missing explanation, and so on. It gives me it goes in and critiques what I wrote. And after that, it gives me a rewrite plan, which incorporates all the structural issues that I approved. I approved before. Check the other videos where I do that. And I approved before. It makes a rewrite plan, and it gives me 52 tasks to work on. So the moment I go in and I have a rewrite plan, I can view the rewrite plan, and after that I go to the board, and in the rewrite plan I will show you I can approve the issue. So this is a merge chapter 3 and 4. It's an approved issue. That means it will show up in my Kanban board. Clarify tools importation, it also approved. And I'll show you how now that I have a rewrite plan, I need to organize it somehow, because if it's scattered in a long list, it doesn't help. I'm an engineer by trade, and I want structure. And when I started to write, which is a creative process, I'm missing the structure I have in a code project where everything is organized and I have a good overview of what's happening and when. So this is the Kanban board, which is a concept developed by Toyota. You should read Toyota Kata, it's a great book on that. And you see how their processes are so efficient. They never have a defect part. In their production line, there are no defect parts. At least what the book is claiming. So I have this, but right now the Kanban, it has how many? 5 columns. It has a backlog of all the things you have to do. For me, it's 52 chapters, 52 tasks I have to work on. It has the things that I will select for work. Another column, it has a in progress column, and it has constraints that I can work on just one thing at a time. That's important. And after that, it's testing, and I'm testing, which is something I will develop in the future. That an AI would go and test the task and how I did it, if it's done well or not. And after that, it's done. The last column is done. And I can filter by chapter, I can filter by structural issues, by thematic issues, and I can filter by critical, high, medium, low. First of all, I will go for critical, and after that high and medium. But right now I'm working on something medium, merging 2 chapters. And and you can select by chapters what chapters do you want to work on, to see the issues for. And when I click on the merge chapters, which is the task I'm currently working, I have a task which is merge chapter 10 and 11. It's an action happening in the sauna, in a village, in an island. So Cunette, the main character, has 10 teenagers visiting him. Cunette is an AI that inhabits a human corpse. It's a trade developed by humans, because they figure out why should we bury the corpses when some of them are perfectly good, and there is a hardware, pretty good hardware, and there is a computer in the skull that should work if something happened, and I don't know, a stroke or something. But the hardware is very good. It's just there is no reason to bury it if you can reuse it. And they started to sell it to AIs. So when the AI is inhabiting a human corpse, and he's having 10 teenagers coming to him for a visit. Long story short, in these 2 chapters, where it's happening, they're happening in the same setting. It's in the sauna village where the teenagers learn how to swim using a special type of hardware that gives them instant feedback. And both of the chapters happen in the same setting, but when I wrote it, I split them in 2 chapters. And the AI told me that it could be beneficial, since the chapters and the action happens in the same setting, to merge the two. So I'm merging the two right now. So what I'll do, I'll go and solve this. Click on solve this. That's my writing interface. And what's happening here? I have a tasks here, what I'm working now, current issue. I have a summary of a chapter, so I have an overview what's happening here. And I have something on hooks, but I didn't do anything there yet. But for now, I'll go and start writing. So when I go there and type, I'm entering the writer's mode, which removes all the noise from the interface. Every single button you see on the interface has a cognitive load. That means it takes space in your brain. It assigns some neurons to it, and I want nothing assigned to my neurons. I want to use all of them to write, nothing else. So there are just three components on the writer's mode. It's the text area where I write. It's the the coach, the AI coach, which I need because sometimes I don't know. English is it's not my native language, so sometimes I don't know how to call certain words. So what I would usually do, I would pull up my phone, I'll search it up and look it up. That means I shifted context. I shifted context from writing to searching, and it eats again. It consumes my neurons, and the context shift. It's very heavy. It's a very heavy cognitive load, which I experience from work as an engineer. When I shift from windows, from tasks, from meetings to writing code back and forth, it kills my productivity. So I want everything in one screen. So that's why I want the coach, which is an AI, an LLM that helps me and has the issue in a context and the chapter as a context, that as a system prompt that I send it to and say, okay, this is where I'm working, this is what I need help with. And the third element on the page, it's a Pomodoro timer, which is a technique that helps you work in established bursts of time, because I want to know I want to know when my effort ends, and I want to see a timer to see how much how much is still how far along am I, how much is left. Well, we're living in a notifications world, and the focus, the attention span because of that had to suffer. So since I'm living around in this society, I'm affected as well. So what is my countermeasure is to have established bursts of time. I know that everything else doesn't matter, everything doesn't exist. I just want to focus on this 25 minutes on working on this specific task with this corpus of text. Nothing else. Everything else is removed. So what I will do, I'll shut up and I'll start writing. So I'll press on this start button, and I start. Okay, it's running. I will from now on I will work. I'll see. Okay, chapter 10. I'll read you the issue. Chapter 10 follows the group's journey to Sauna Village and the swimming lesson race between Thor and Cunette. Chapter 1 immediately continues with Freya and Thor in the sauna barrel. These are consecutive scenes in the same location during the same visit. The chapter break interrupts the flow of the day 3 activities and separates the swimming incident from its intermediate aftermath. And it gives me a suggestion of what I can do or I can ignore. Combine these chapters to create a complete Sauna Village chapter that encompasses the journey, swimming lesson, race and sauna scene. This would improve pacing and allow the mysterious bone discovered to serve as a stronger chapter ending hook. So there is a bone in the barrel. The merged structure would also better parallel the unified structure of the location-based chapters. So yeah, Okay, let's go, let's go, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Now I have to, okay, how do I do that? Maybe there's something else. Since I'm adapting a scene I wrote a few years ago, back then I used past tense, now I'm using present tense, and back then the scene was quite a bit different, but I would be reusing the wording, but adapted to the new circumstances. Let's unit, and there's a barrel. Sitting, bench, middle barrel. A bit cheesy. Upper body. Yeah, Thor was kind of naked. Maybe we need to convey this in a way that the reader would infer it himself. I'll just write it, he was butt naked, but later I would find a way to rewrite that. Okay. Oh, no, I'm not gonna go there. But why not? No, it's not here. Private. Um, Now I don't know what dopamine is. Is it a hormone? What is dopamine? Dopamine. That's what I will use AI for. What is dopamine? And what sensors do you need to track them? What sensors do you need to track them? Ignore assessment. Previous question. Copy. And now I discover a bug, right? Because I'm asking a free text questions, and he's replying with AI is replying with the context he has, the current issue. So that's what means I would need to stop the writing and go into the code and fix it. So when I ask for maybe I'll add another tab here for current issue, reflection, and free text and coach. So when I ask the coach, it doesn't have any limitations on what to reply, because now it does. Now it gives me assessment on either I managed to solve the issue or not. So that's the process. I started to work on the writing. I discover a bug. I stop the writing. I go into the code. I fix the code. I deploy it, and I go back to writing. So it's kind of talking about a distraction-free experience, right? But that's how we build products. That's how we build products that you yourself use and others will use. Okay, we'll skip the dopamine for now, but we'll remember to fix this problem. Policy aware. Projects. Subhormones. Sub chemicals. Measure chemicals released by sub bodies. Homo sapiens. Chemical vision. Yeah, the chemical vision. It's a good word for now. Chemical vision floats purple. Now I can go on. So I need a gradual increase of hotness in this thing, so I can use steam for that. Oh, this is bad writing. Yeah, I would write this, of course. But, no, I'm not gonna say that. Let me think what his name is. Freya. We can't know that because we're not there. The bench. No, because they're both naked. The chemical vision. Begins. Nice. One. It's impossible. Sense. He sits in his lap. Nuts. Starts and looks at those and zoom into chart spikes. Body changes. Body changes. The bench. Bench. What does the bench do? The bench cracks. Two. It ends up on props. Her hands, her knees. What is it? Okay. Okay, I forgot about that. Oh no, I have to do. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, now that I'm done with my 25 minutes of writing. Yeah. No, not again. I go on and okay, still very some time. Chemical charts. Vamos, this is done. Yeah, and now that let's go and continue this one. No. Continue this one. Yep. Now we have 20 minutes left. 20 minutes left out of this sprint, out of this Pomodoro session. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run a reflection session of 5 minutes. Why do we need that? Is to be able to internalize the writing, what we've done, and how we've done it, how difficult it is. It's a way to train our brain. Actually, it's a way to train them. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to do a reflection session of what we have written in the sprint, and yeah, let's just jump into this. So, oh, for God's sake, I forgot to record the screening. I'll do it again. Screenshot. Record the entire screen. Record. Okay, and the last part of the writing session is the reflection time, right? The reflection, which I wrote. Okay, let's go into this one. And I'm still in the last 20 seconds. And this records, yes, this records, and this records, everything is good. Okay, let's see, the reflection starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Yes, let's reflect on your sprint. What did you accomplish with sprint? What did I accomplish? I wrote the last scene of the merged chapter where Freya and Thor get steamy, get alone in a sauna barrel. Okay, what was the biggest blocker challenge you faced? Biggest blocker challenge. The blocker is that I used text I wrote maybe 3 years ago in past tense with different character names, and I had to adapt to the new present tense and the new characters while keeping the new tone, because as you grow as a writer, you evolve your tone. A new tone, deleting the bad writing. What's the next smallest action you'll take in your next sprint? Oh, Pomodoro session. What's the next smallest action I'll take in the next sprint? I will maybe write from scratch, because as a writer you want to reuse the thing that you wrote once and you don't need to do it again, but sometimes it's better to write from scratch. The scene without reusing old paragraphs, old corpus. On a scale of 1 to 5, how difficult was the sprint and why? How difficult was the sprint? I would say it was a 4. It was a 4. 4 because it is a complex scene, a steamy one, that I an intimacy scene that I should show through the chemical reactions of the bodies. Not through describing what happens there, through describing what happens there, and maybe also making an analogy of how stars are born, right? It should be something similar. How stars were merging and how people have sex. I think pretty much same. On different scale, of course. And how 6 on a different scale. Now we are Stardust, right? Stardust. How do you feel about your progress right now? How I feel? I feel I'm on the good track, but to do the analogy between stars merging and bodies merging, I would need a few more sessions of writing plus a few sessions for researching. Now I'm done. I'm finally done. I wrote a 25 minutes Pomodoro session. I did a 5 minutes reflection session. Now I'm good to go. I'll take a walk because it was a long day. It was a long day. Thank you very much for your attention. Jon from storyclub.ai. We are doing AI agents for writers. If you're a writer, a beginner writer, need help, go to storyclub.ai and register an account. I experiment with a seed project that's already there and start writing. Thank you very much. Start writing. See you on next time. Next time I don't know. I have too much things to do. But see you.